Gopala Astrology channel, where the science meets astrology for common man's understanding. Subscribe and stay tuned to this channel for continued astrological updates. Welcome to Gopala Astrology channel, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I have my good dear friend Rajiv Garg from Delhi. Good evening, Rajiv. How are you doing, my friend?
I am fine. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. After a long time, right? It's almost 4-5 weeks
right.
we took, and I made a video on Saturn retrograde, and I said everybody is busy, and I'm sure you must have been a very busy man. I couldn't get your schedule, and I'm here. I'm very glad to get you back on my channel, and you are my best friend to ask questions, and we will entertain our set of audience. So today, our topic is going to be the first lord in the second house, and we are going to continue our journey where we left. We made a video on first lord, ascendant in all the zodiac signs. Now today our journey is going to be clear, and we will try to cover our video as quickly as possible. I'm going to share my screen here. Let me know if you are able to see the screen, Rajiv, and hear me well. Okay,
if I'm able to see your screen, sir.
And hear everything, we will start our journey. All right, so there you go. So the topic is Astro-Vedic Science for Dummies. This is going to be our video number 7, actually, talking about first lord in the second house. This we are talking purely about the D1 horoscope chart. All right, so as we had already discussed about what is ascendant and what is the significance of Lagna in our previous, it's very, very simple. The time that you take, you draw a tangent to the eastern horizon. From the time of birth, you get what is known as the zodiac sign of ascendant. And that's very, very important in our Vedic astrology. At any point of time, as the earth is spinning, you just draw it. And at any given point of time, we will have a Lagna. Right? So I don't want to go through the details of that now in this, and we will just highlight where we are now on the bird's eye view here. The 12 zodiac signs in the South Indian format is very clearly put here. The first house is Lagna, ascendant, that is the self-appearance of our own body. It's you yourself, Rajiv, right? So this law is now going from first house to second house. It can be any of those 7 grahas that we talk in classical Vedic astrology. So if I forget about Greenstone Logos additional planets, you please remind me. We can also add value to this video to add his concepts as well, because I am practicing both the astrological concepts of our ancient sages, Parashara Maharshi, Parashara Hora Shastra, and also the new concepts given by Greenstone Logo. All right, so let's begin our journey. What is first house? It's very clear. It's your own sharira, right? It's your own physical well-being. Whatever happens in this life, Rajiv, in this life is physically felt by this zodiac sign. There is always a saying that in your past life, you were exactly opposite zodiac sign you were born. For example, in this birth, you are born with Gemini ascendant. They say the immediate previous birth, you were born in Sagittarius ascendant sign. All right. So with those things in our mind, I want to just tell you about what is the significance of second house. Second house represents your father's created family. It's very important. It's a family, house of family, you know. It also represents whatever value that you do in your life, whatever value you have in your life, whatever savings, whatever money you are going to gain and store it, right? Incoming gains is 11th house, and second house is storage of that. If your incoming gains, 11th house is very strong, but your second house is weak, my friend, you are going to have problems, right? So we had discussed many things about debilitation of planets in the second house and all that. So we clearly understand that second house represents your things that you value. All right. So this is a very important house. The family is very important, and the way you speak, right? The speech, the throat represents your second house. The way you eat food, what type of food you prefer. If you have a cold planet there, you like to eat frozen foods. If it is a warm or a hot planet like Mars, you like to eat the food in a warm condition and things like that. Okay, so now let's just straight away jump into the Mars. If you are a Mesha Lagna person, the Mars becomes the first lord, and when he goes to the second house, what we can expect here, right? The presence of this Mars is what? Mars is a fighter. Imagine you are an ascendant of Aries. The Mars becomes a very significant planet, and then it goes to the second house. So it can make you a very impulsive person in terms of family matters, right? Lagna is Mars. And the ruler of that Aries, which is Mars, goes to the family house of Taurus. He wants to protect the family. He puts a lot of energy. Let me just move our picture a little bit here so that people can see this. They are bubbling out with energy. Mars is a soldier. So where is that energy going? It is all going to your family well-being. So you are the protector of your family, but sometimes the people can overdo things because Mars has the tendency to do things in a haste and in a no thinking manner. It's a flawless planet. It's a soldier. It just listens to the command of the Jupiter or whoever is the guru, and it takes action. And he's a risk taker also. Sometimes you can put your family into risk. Am I making sense here, Rajiv? So it is good and bad. And Mars in the second house can also form a little bit of what is known as Savvai Dosham or Manglik Dosha, right? It is also possible, and you need to do a proper matchmaking. Whenever a qualified astrologer sees this combination, he would like to always see the bride or bridegroom also having a similar type of affliction of Mars in the horoscope so that the matchmaking is good. All right. So I have put some more points here. One can read through this in detail, but in summary, I can say that Mars also rules two ascendants. When it comes to the ascendant of Scorpio, it also makes sense. It may go to the house of Sagittarius. We will talk about it a little later. But in an overall nutshell, what I can say is that the Mars can work as a protector of the family. It tries to do its best to save the money for the family, save the money for themselves, and then protects the father's created family in all possible ways. But in terms of speech, the person may have a little bit harsh speech. He may talk without thinking. He may hurt others by directly talking. See, they're too direct. They do not know how to polish things and talk. Right? So whatever comes to their mind, the truth, of course, they talk the truth because Mars is not an evil planet in reality. It's a soldier. So it is going to talk directly and it may affect some people. All right. That's all I have to say. You have any questions before we move to the next one, Raju?
So basically it is an aggressive planet. So it brings aggression in the actions of related to the second house, right?
Exactly. Whatever is in the second house, you can talk about whatever I mentioned in the initial part of the presentation. You can take any of those. The Mars is going to be aggressive. It's not going to be slow anymore. Okay, it's going to take action. If it sees anything happening in the family, it takes action. All right.
Right.
Makes sense?
Mars is the enemy of Venus. So that is why it bring not polish the things while he's speaking. So that is the characteristic, right?
I don't say literally Mars is the enemy of Venus because Venus is a feminine part of the world, of the mother universe, and I can say Mars is the male. So without Sangama or the mating of Mars male and then Venus female, nothing happens. In fact, they are the lovebirds of the zodiac.
Right.
So they are not really enemies, but at some degrees, when they are too much conjunct, they will form a Bhrigu Mangala Yoga, right? So that can be an advantage. It depends on the position from the Lagna, where it is happening as well. So, sorry, I don't really call Mars as an enemy for Venus. So Mars always fights to protect the Venus, actually, especially from Rahu. If Rahu is impacting the Venus, the Mars is going to be a soldier or a policeman, and he's going to protect the Venus, in fact. All right. So Mars is by nature is like a commander. He will have a very strong voice and he will just directly talk without, thinking of the consequences many times. That's all about it. So let's move on to the next one here. So Venus goes to the second house of Gemini here. So what is happening? Venus is a planet of beauty, planet of creation, planet of wealth, all that pleasurable things that you can think of, right? So that particular planet being the ruler of Taurus, as per classical astrology, it goes to the second house of family, right? So this is a fantastic a romantic planet going into the house of father's created family. So he's going to be artistic, he's going to protect, he's going to have a beautiful face, first of all. The second house also represents a persona in a way, the face, right? So the person is going to have honey in his tongue. He's going to talk very beautifully and he's going to impress people. Exactly opposite of that of Mars, actually. Mars is aggressive man, whereas here is a businessman talking family business, actually. So the way he talks, many people who run the artistic showrooms and things like that, the father has created that shop, and then the son is going to take over that business and he's going to expand his father's business. That is what is going to happen when a planet of beauty, Venus, goes and sits in the house of family. And I will tell you on another terms, the communication skills will be excellent for this guy. He can be a very good speaker. He can be teaching arts and science in a world famous college, for example, university, for example. That is possible. Also, this guy can be a spendthrift. He can be spending a lot of money, in terms of wearing a cloth which is always from a branded company. He can wear perfumes and he will make himself beautiful. In fact, this could be a very good example of a film actress. Actresses or actors, both can be seen in this combination. So perfect example, very classical. It's a beautiful combination to see this, and people will maintain peacefulness. They are rich in nature. They will be extremely rich. Please understand, the Venus and Mercury both are extremely good friends. The owner of that second house is extremely a best friend of Venus. So both of them going to interact. I think if there is no other bad afflictions or bad drishtis of Venus, of Saturn or Rahu or any other planets, I'm very sure this Venus is going to produce a lot of good results. All right, so shall we move? I don't see any other questions. This is the best possible combination in a horoscope to have. If you have Purva Punya, you will get this combination. All right, let's move on to Mercury now, being the lord of Gemini, the first house, and now goes to the second house of Cancer zodiac sign or Karkataka Rashi. So here, Mercury is what? Mercury is all about intelligence, right? So Lagna itself, the man who is born with Gemini ascendants, they are very resourceful. If you see, they talk a lot, they have a lot of knowledge, they read a lot of newspapers, they collect a lot of newspapers, information here and there, and they like to now talk and communicate. Second house is surely the speech. The communication skill of this person will be extremely good. The person may be a very good lecturer in a college, again, and then this man communicates in the way the best business concepts will be put forward to the people. So this man can be a very influential, businessman as well. They love to play with the numbers. The man who is very good in mathematics can be seen and felt in this combination. You want to add anything? Finance, communication, public speaking. Sorry, I have some throat infection today. Again, my second house is afflicted and that's why I'm able to cough. I may have to drink some water. Okay, so they are the men with numbers, the data analysts. Okay, so they are the best engineers who work with all this communication, media, mass communication, and they will make money. They will make tons of money. All right, so let's put the emotional guy, the moon here. The feminine planet, the motherly, affectionate planet, Moon, who is the ruler of Karkataka Rashi or Cancer zodiac sign, now goes to the second house of Leo. So what happens here? Second house of Leo. Leo is the zodiac sign, which is the stage of the universe. The people who like to be who like to show off themselves in the world. That is Leo. And then Cancer is opposite sign. Cancer ascendant people like to be shy. They do not expose themselves. They think twice, thrice before even they don't have any account in the Facebook or any social media. Whereas exact opposite character here. So what happens here? The people who are intelligent, smart looking now starts getting into the social media. They will expose themselves, and then the moon gives them some fickle mindedness. Do you understand this? Why? Because moon is very fast. right? Every 2 days, two and a half days, it changes a rashi. So these people will be very at the drop of the hat, they will make decisions for their families. So it can be a fickle-minded person who is smart-looking and who was actually brought up in a very family which is which is having a lot of talented parents. Okay, he was very shy in the first part of the life, and when it goes to the second part of the life, this guy is going to explode on the stage. He may become a very good actor, actresses, and present himself and become very famous personality, and who is emotional as well. So all these things is possible. See, we say whenever a person is born with Cancer ascendant, a Snow White baby is born, we say, because they will be very handsome. Actually, they will be a little bit royal type of character, and they will be usually born in a rich family. I have seen many of them are born, or at least their parents too much take care of them, and they are growing in that, nurturing in that atmosphere of how to say, a lot of love and affection by parents. So the second part of their life will become very exuberant, and they will spend a lot of money, and they will be fickle-minded, and they will be generous in their activities, and then they are emotional to their family. And whatever the savings they do, also they will be trying to be generous and give it to others. That's the attitude of this type of people.
And you mentioned the second part of the life. So what is the years? If you
usually the second part of life normally starts after 35, my friend.
Okay.
So this type of people definitely will have a very good wife also. And then I told you about they become very generous type of people, and they can work for NGO and help society because they are very emotional type of kind of people. They value human beings. If you are lucky enough, you have a HR who is born in this combination. In fact, I wish my HR belongs to this category. They will be very emotional. They will take care of, they will be real human resource managers. Unfortunately, you may not have it. All right, so let's move on to the next combination. The Surya, or the sun, goes to the second house of Virgo. So what you can expect here, my friend, Virgo is all about calculations, auditors, people who look into the minute details of anything. Accountants and auditors, they are the best example. The auditors can be any type of auditors. For example, an auditor like me, I am also a quality manager who can do the auditing. I also have sun in the Virgo, for your information. So I am a very micro detailed person who is a little bit of a perfectionist, as I have a Mercury also in Virgo. So what happens with this type of combination is the Leo is a very focused personality on dais, on stages, and this guy goes into the Virgo, detailed, minute details. So whatever details that is there in the world, he is going to expose it. That's what I can expect. And then the way he will administratively take care of this, he will get into a very good managerial positions. So Leo is like a king, right? So they will not settle for anything smaller. And the ruler of that goes to the Vaksthanam, second house. So his speech will be commanding. He can influence people by the talk, and he will be very much weighted. Whatever he talks will have data, numbers, and accuracy, and family assets is everything for them. That is where the soul is going and sitting. So they will make a lot of properties, and they will take care of their father. Father's property, they are going to multiply it. That's what you can expect. And sun does very well in the house of Mercury, which is Virgo, according to classical astrology as well. So this is supposed to be a very good combination. Sun in the Kanya Rashi can do wonderful things. I've listed out many of these things, and I can say that this person can be a doctor as well. The way he talks itself, he can cure people. Right? So Virgo is the Kanya Rashi, which is the house of health care, healing. So that is very possible. The way that the person talks, people get healed. That's the wonderful combination of a soul. Sun represents the engine of the horoscope. So wherever the sun sits, that is the purpose of your life. So they will be very much making rules and regulations in the family. They make sure the family is in organized position and whatnot. So I have listed out a lot of stuff here. They will get a lot of reputation in the society. They will be respected as zamindars and those type of people. They are like kingly type of people. you know, Zamindar system in India that existed for 9
Right.
years. Even it is there even now today in India. So they inherit their wealth from the fathers and forefathers. They will be born in rich family. That's what I can say with this combination. Let's move on to Mercury that goes to Libra. So Libra is what? Libra is all about artistic beauty, and Virgo is all about calculations. So this is very two opposite characteristic, you know, type of signs. One talks about beauty, artistics, and judgmental. You know, people who are having moon in the Libra can be very good judges. They judge, they assess the situation, they're logical thinkers. Now a logical thinking and communication planet, uh, Mercury goes and sits there. So it is going to make the person very bold, intelligent, hardworking, laborious, and he accumulates the huge wealth. Again, the wealth that he got it from his parents, he's going to multiply as well. And he's a very commercial, you know, Mercury is very commercial planet here. And unlike the Gemini, what is the main difference if you ask me? Gemini is all about information. All the MBAs, you can talk about Harvard University MBAs and stuffs like that, is seen in Gemini ascendant, whereas Virgo ascendant is totally opposite. They are like auditors, they are down-to-earth people, they don't speak in air, they don't talk much at all. In fact, they don't communicate at all. That's what our Greenstone Logos concept of planet Y, which rules Virgo, which is very, very correct in my opinion, you know. Those people with Virgo ascendants, they don't talk much unless they have the planet Y well placed again. So
Yeah.
we have to take different sciences together and amalgamate properly and try to take the best of the systems. All right. So Mercury goes to Libra, is in its own friend's house. He's going to add value to it. The longevity life is there. Of course, you must see that second house and second lord is also known as Maraka. Marak, right? So you must understand that the longevity will be better. The Marakasthana Lord will come a little later because he's in his own friend's house. If Marak is, if the Lagna Lord becomes very friendly with the Marakasthana Lord, it will be much better. So that's why we can expect the longevity of this and inheritance and value-added things. All right, let's move on to Venus in the second house again, in the other combination here in Scorpio. So here the Lagna Lord is very, very artistic, you know, very feminine, beauty, everything is there. And it goes and sits in the Scorpio. You know, Scorpio is what? Scorpio is a gutter, you know, something which is hidden down in the dream. So what you can expect here, the guy is trying his best to protect the family's prestige and things like that. But this type of a people can make the reputation of the family into a risk at some time, because they may have the connections with low-level people. 8th house is all about low-level people. Natural 8th house is Scorpio. And again, you must understand that Scorpio is being ruled by Pluto, the god of death. In reality, I consider the higher octane of Mars, that is Pluto, which is really the god of death, rules that. And now this guy puts all his resources into the second house, and he values it. See, what you can think. See, I have listed out a lot of things from the internet here that anybody can read. But what is the logical thing that you understand over a period of time? When I see horoscopes of this kind, I always see that this person can work in insurance industry. You know, the death. See, the second house here is representing death. Yes, natural 8th house represents death. So the benefit after the death is what? Inheritance due to insurance, right? The people who are insurance agents who make a lot of money, you know, they see, in India, insurance agent means they are treated very badly, you know. If you'll shoo away them, hey, shoo, go away. I don't want to buy any insurance, you'll say. But if you live in US or Canada or Singapore or something, highly developed countries, you will see that insurance agents make a lot of money, you know. So they will be lacking of information, you know, the people, they don't know which insurance policies to be taken, and taking the health insurance, life insurance is extremely important in these expensive countries, right? So if you are sick in Singapore, for example, for some serious disease, you better get out of this country, because all of your hard-earned money of your lifetime can get drained in 2 operations or 1 operation that you go through, because medical field is very, very expensive. All right, so those people who can influence people and then make them to buy some insurance policies, and at the end of the day, the person who takes that policy also may have this combination and get inheritance through this. So the family can provide money through inheritance or death or whatever. So those things you can say, but the wealth will be there, no doubt, because the planet Venus very well can accomplish things in second house of Scorpio. But these people may be very secretive in nature, and they may not open up. They may be owning a very big building in New York, Manhattan, for example, but they will not say that they are the owners. They are very secretive of their wealth, and everything is hidden below the ground. That's what you can expect. All right. So the next combination here. So the Mars, being the lord of Scorpio, goes to second house of Sagittarius. Second house of Sagittarius here becomes religious. Religiousness becomes high propaganda for these people. They get a lot of religious religious teachings from their parents. And these people earn huge money. Of course, Sagittarius is house of money. It's a fiery sign. The owner of that is the guru, and he's the minister, whereas the Mars is a soldier. Both of them are very, very good friends. So a hot planet going into the hot area, it gets very good position to save the family. It is, of course, when you compare to Taurus, Sagittarius is much better place for Mars to be there and add value to the family. And they work hard and they save the money and make sure that the family is enriched, and they will get very good education. Sagittarius is all about education. Right, they will be highly skilled scholars. They talk very well. They will have a very good family life, I can see. They love children again. They will have children, and then their religious beliefs will be very strong. Unless, of course, ninth house, if it is affected, higher belief system is seen in the ninth house of Cancer for them. But unless otherwise there is some evil things happening in the ninth house, they will be they follow the religiousness very well. That's the beauty of.
So are they aggressive in their religious matters also? Like some.
Yes.
We have so many Orthodox people, like which.
I agree fully with you, Rajiv. You are 100% right. So here, a soldier is going there to protect the religiousness of his family. So family prestige is everything for this guy. All right. So that's the point here, and he makes money. No doubt about it. The Sagittarius is the house of finance. It's the natural ninth house. He has to make money, and he's.
And they are aggressive also in finance, right?
Yes. They want to save money. They want to save money. They will do anything for it. All right. Let's now move. Jupiter, the lord of the first house, Sagittarius, goes into the Capricorn. So here, what is happening is the Capricorn is the debilitation. This is the only house where Jupiter doesn't do good things for people. All right. Please understand this. They have to work very hard to acquire wealth. The native feels really unhappy in the family. See, the family may be like for example, a person who likes to practice vegetarian, in vegetarianism in his life. Okay, vegans, but their father may be a butcher, for example. you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. Like they don't have the family aligned with their thoughts initially.
Yes. They will be totally different in thinking. The thought process will be different. They want to add a lot of value to the family, but the family doesn't value them. They will always be under a lot of pressure to take care of this family, and they will work very hard for it. But the success rate is very low. And they may lose some money, and they will occupy some positions for sure. But the thing is, they will not have that satisfaction with the father's created family. See, second house is father's created family, and fourth house is your own family. You must understand this. The family that is created between you, your wife, and your children is fourth house. Okay, whereas this one will be second house is the father's created family. All right, let's quickly move on to the next one. Saturn It's another type of a strict planet. It goes to the second house. Normally, the people with Saturn in the second house, the first half of the life will be always challenging for them. They cannot save money. They will have some speech problems. They will have some dental problems. Whatever it is, the family will be under a lot of stress financially, and these people will try to add value to that family. At the later stage, they will be doing better. So first 35 years, they will definitely have to go through a lot of problems. They will have eye troubles, and they have to work very hard. It's not easy for them to save money at all, because Saturn tries to drain the resources. But you must understand, wherever Saturn sits, it gives the maximum value in the second house, and these people can become very, very rich in the second part of the life. Okay, and Jupiter, wherever he sits, he is going to spoil that house. Whereas wherever Jupiter puts his drishti, that house will become very, very, very highly developed house. Okay, that's the main difference between Saturn and. But Saturn's drishti is going to spoil everything. So wherever Saturn sits, he's going to see the third house, he's going to see the 7th house and 10th house. Those three houses will be really in trouble. Okay, whenever Saturn, Mahadasha, Antardasha comes, but the place where he sits, he's going to make it grow over a period of time. Of course, initially he's a retarder brake. You know, in a car you have a brake, you have an accelerator, Mercury, and then you have a clutch, the Jupiter. So all these three are there, and steering is your sun, Surya. So I can say many things about planets in your car. You know, it's the same thing. So you need a retarder brake when you are not ready enough to face the world. So once Saturn gets confidence about this person, he's going to release him and make him very, very rich. Second house is all about richness. These people will know the value of every single dollar that they need to earn. And once they reach 35, they will start accumulating wealth. Because their first 35 years, they would have been devoured. They will work for very low salaries and things like that. But they will gain their momentum once Saturn gives them, breaks open the shackles. All right. So the same thing happens.
Basically, they are the independent to the family. Means they will make their own path.
They will make their own path, and they will get out of the family because they see that the family doesn't respect them, and they will have a lot of problems in the father's created family. One of the siblings or one of the either the father or the siblings will have problem with him. And I had made a video that for foreign settlements, right, people with second house Saturn or Rahu or Ketu or even you can say Ketu or Mars. Any of these 4 planets, if it's there in the second house, they will bring them into another country in the same solar lit area for betterment, right? If not, if they continue to stick to the same family, they will have problems and they will not grow in their life. They have to get out of the father's created family to become independent. Yeah, I like the word you used. They will become very independent. Right. Right. And they will protect their family. After marriage, they will protect their family because Saturn puts an aspect on the third house, and they will control their family in a very big way because they are very worried what happened in their own family. All right. So the last one here is Jupiter in the second house when it is the natives of Pisces ascendant. So what happens here? Jupiter gets exalted in Aries, my friend. Our good friend Greenstone Lobo keeps saying this. Jupiter gets exalted in Aries, and that's what happens. This is an active Jupiter, and it's not a lazy Jupiter at all. It is there in the fiery sign again. Its best friend is Mars, and it goes and add value. Of course, they will work hard for it, but they protect their family. And these people are very poetic. They can write poetry. Their tongue will be so sweet with honey. You know, when they talk, people like to hear them. Right? Very good politicians, people who occupy the professions which need a lot of training, talking, presentation, all that will happen through. Even they can be doctors again. They can be healers, right? The reason is 10th Lord goes to the second house. Please understand, 10th house is the Sagittarius, which is owned by Jupiter, and he goes and sits in the friendly house of Aries. All right, so many things can be listed here. The person is going to be very, very cooperative with the family members, and he will get back the same cooperation from the family members. They will value him, you know. So the well-behaved family, wealthy, the person can be very, very rich, and as the time progresses, he can be very famous through his works in terms of communication, right? So he communicates.
religious mindset also to the family? Is it showing?
Yes. Very, very spiritual. In fact, he can be
Yeah,
a
the family
very
is
spiritual
spiritual.
person. Yeah, family will be spiritual. He brings spirituality to the family because Pisces is the spiritual sign. Aries is not. Aries is very practical and methodical, hardworking characters. So his family will be added value by this guy. You know, he's going to put all the good things, and the people know their family through this guy. Right, so that's what the benevolent Jupiter does here. Okay, we can talk
Yeah,
about it, but at the end of the day, Jupiter in the second house is a wonderful place. You know, they will be very much family oriented people. They will have very good denture, you know, the dental things. They will never go to dentist actually. So this type of people, it's opposite of what I said to the Saturn.
yeah,
All right, so that's what it is, and we have come to the end of this video. If any of the questions you have, you can always type it in the comment section, my friends, and we will answer it back to you, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks, and please subscribe to this channel so that we will not you will not miss out any of these valuable, knowledgeable videos. All right, so that's all. Rajiv, bye. Good night. Then see you in the next
yeah,
video. Bye bye.
yeah. Good night.